Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emma. Here we talk about homeschool, motherhood, and lifestyle. Today I want to bring you the method that I use to teach my son Spanish. I will see you after the intro. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emma, and here I like to bring everything that has to do with homeschool, give you tips and ideas, things that have to do with us moms, and as well lifestyle. I'm in the process to lose some weight. I haven't posted a video recently, but I will be doing some more of those videos so you can see the journey that I'm taking. But today I want to teach you, or more explaining to you, the method that I'm using right now for teaching my son Spanish. So I will be showing you some resources that I'm using, but it is more about how I am teaching him Spanish. I noticed that a lot of moms are creating these videos where they show the resources that they are using, and I've been watching those videos because, hey, you can learn something from other moms, obviously, but I'm a little disappointed. I am a Latina, and I think that even as a Latina, I can tell you that teaching Spanish to a person that doesn't speak Spanish, is not their first language, is difficult. Imagine if it's difficult to learn English, which is a language that is, you can agree with me, it's very complicated. Teaching Spanish without giving them a root or a base for them to stand on it makes it a little bit more complicated, and actually kills the motivation for them to learn another language. So first of all, before I explain to you everything, I just want to say welcome if you're new. My name is Emma. I have a 9-year-old boy, and I like to share things that have to do with homeschool, motherhood, and lifestyle. If you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you to do it so you don't miss any of the information. Click that notification bell so you know when I upload a video, okay? And let's just start. So the first thing that I want to tell you is again, I like to start with my son with the basics. I like to start from the beginning, from the scratch. First, I wait for him. When he was ready, he actually let me know. At the beginning, he was interested in another, in speaking another language, which I was kind of afraid of because has nothing to do with the Spanish. And it hurts my feeling. Let me just let you know, it hurts my feeling. But I just let it go. I just say, okay, we will gather as much information as I can about that, and we try to see how we can start doing and learning about that language. And one day we were at a family, one of our family gatherings, and he started listening to us talking in Spanish, and he couldn't understand anything, and he was like, you guys speak so fast, I can't understand. And he said, I want to learn Spanish, I really want to learn. And I said, really? And he says, yeah. Are you sure? Yes. Good, because I am ready to teach you Spanish. So I wait for that time where he was actually ready. If you start pressuring your kid for them to learn a language which they're not interested in, it's not gonna go good. They probably will learn it, but they eventually will forget what they are learning, because first of all, they were not having an interest in learning that. Second of all, because if they don't practice, if they don't have the interest, they are not going to keep practicing. And third, because you have to create the environment or the moment where they can have somebody to practice with. Okay, so first of all, I use this book, which is called, and I'm covering these corners just because I have my kid's name there, but it's called Cartilla Fonética, And this is the main book. This is what we use as our spine. I like this book because it starts from the beginning. It gives them a base, and this is where I have a little bit of issues when I see moms stating that here we have the resources that we're going to use with our kid to learn Spanish. Here we have this program or this curriculum, and I am not trying to criticize that, but it's like everything. You will not tell your kid to step there if you see there's nothing that will prevent for them to fall, correct? It has to have some ground there. The same I apply for us learning Spanish. He needs a ground, he needs a base, he needs the roots, the language, okay? So that's what I give with this book. We start doing the vowels, and that's the first thing I teach my son. That is the base for us. That is the base for me. I think that in order for them to learn Spanish and learn it well in a way that they don't forget, they need to start from the beginning. My mom and my grandma and everybody start teaching us from the beginning. And you're going to say, well, that's easy because you speak Spanish. You guys speak Spanish. Yes and no. It's like everything you have to learn. But we start by teaching everything from the beginning, from the base, from the root. So we start with the vowels. Okay, so we go A, E, I, O, U, and we have them doubles in here because it has, I don't know if you notice, it has the capital letter and the lowercase letter. Okay, so we start A, E, I, O, U, and that's how they start learning to know the letters and the sounds from the beginning, from the scratch, from the vowels, which is las vocales en español. We start teaching them the vowels, and then we start A, árbol, A, avión, A, aguacate, A, ana, just because it gives them a base. If they know already the sounds, you can incorporate some of the words. And when I incorporate the words after he has learned the vowels, it's not really for him to learn the word. It's just for him to kind of like get used to the sound of the Spanish, get used to the sound of that letter in that particular word. It's not because I am really looking for him to learn that word at the moment. It's just to make him used to get that sounds of our language, of course. Then after I teach him the vowels and I make sure that he knows the vowels, I start doing the blendings with the sounds. So I, ia, au, ua, ow, oa, I, ea, and I try to make it fun for him. We don't do all of them at once. We go little by little. We get a line each day, and then we go all over again, and we get a line each day again. I try to stay in that for 21 days. After that, I start adding little by little something else. Why 21 days? Because that's how long it takes usually for you to learn something well. So we start with the vowels and then we go for the blendings. Then in here, if you notice, there are more blendings. And I try to make it fun for him. So in here, since he has a cat, I go, ow, 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 or ooh, 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 to make the sound of the letter U, of the U. And in here we have ia, ia, o. We have a sound that sounds that way, so I try to make that sound in that way, and it's easy for him. He actually repeats everything just exactly. And then we have in here oe, 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 oe. I just try to make it fun for him, things that rhyme. I like to go little by little. I am going to his pace. I am in no hurry or rushing him to learn the words, because the more you rush them, the more you kill that motivation for them to try to learn, to get that interest. You know, it just feels like it's something that they have to do by force, and who likes to do something pressure? Nobody, correct? So I try to take it as slow as I can. We haven't even reached this. where he has more of the blendings and the phonetical sounds, and then we start doing sentences and sounds with those blendings, like mima, ama, mia, mima, me, meow, mimi, memo, mimo. Mi mamá me ama. Amo a mi mamá. We are not reaching this point yet, but he already knows how to sing songs in Spanish. He already knows how to read some of the words in Spanish, and he already knows how to keep a level of conversation in Spanish. Why? With just the vowel sounds that I incorporate at the beginning, that I just teach him at the beginning, and those blendings that we have done so far. I incorporate some of the words that he learned from this side, from the part where we have the vowels, just because he already knows the vowels. I am sure I just ask him cuáles son las vocales, and he immediately say a, e, I, o, u. So I can start adding little by little words. I have incorporated as well songs, just because by using songs, since kids like to sing, they like the rhythm of the sounds, I start incorporating songs. But as I said, I don't pressure him on doing it. It's just something that he's interested in, and I take advantage of that. Something that I use as well, that I create, and I found this online free, is these letters. If you notice, it has already some lines where you can cut, and I just color them and laminate them. These are not the original ones. He has ones that are completely laminated. I just can't find them because we were using them, but he used these. And if you notice, it has letters here for the vowels, and it says in Spanish las vocales. And it has the name where you can find them. I will leave that in the description box, but it's Material Didáctico, Rayitas, and that's what I'm using to incorporate when I don't have available the book. I just show him the vowels. We still review the vowels. You want to review that constantly, because they forget, especially because they are that young. They are going to forget. If they don't have somebody available to be practicing constantly, they will forget. I speak Spanish, and sometimes it's still kind of like, it goes away a little bit. But you want to practice constantly. He knows them already. If I ask him, he will recite them really fast. But I still practice with them just to make sure. We are just him and I. We don't speak Spanish unless I see a group of my family and we gather there, and then he starts listening to that. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. So the next thing that I use as well, and I use this 5-star mat, looks like a binder, okay? And we use, I have a side in here, and these are some of the resources that I use with him for Spanish, or that I have, because if you want me to be honest, we're still going little by little. So in here I have more materials for him to learn Spanish, and the basic, what he should have at the beginning as a base. Like I have, as I said, some of the song. He already knows this song, which is Tengo una vaca lechera. We are starting to practice in the days of the week, because it's something that is basic. It comes in a conversation. And I have here as well another song. Since he learned the other one, we are in this one. This is La Tablita, okay? As well, and this is very important, this is the alphabet in Spanish. It's a little bit different from the English one. If you notice, it has more letters. Like in here, it has the CH. I don't know if you can appreciate here. We have double L. We have what we call in here the ñ, which is after the N, okay? And if you notice, the rest of the alphabet is pretty much the same, but it has those 3 letters that are different from obviously from the English one. And I am not going through the alphabet with him yet. Okay, so we are starting first with the vowels, the blendings, and from there then we will jump for the alphabet. I am trying first to make sure that he knows the vowels well and some of the blendings, and then we jump to the alphabet. And that's how it will give him that base that I am telling you that he needs. And it's something that really takes me away when I see somebody talking about resources and things in Spanish, and I notice that they don't have that base yet. I immediately just stop watching, because for me it doesn't make sense that you go straight to words without giving them a base on the vowels and all of that. Other resources that we have is this book in Spanish. Is 365 stories and rhymes for kids, and I just read it to him just so he can get his ear used to listen to Spanish, but not for him to learn anything from here yet. Okay, as well, I created this journal. It has pictures that I cut, and I just try to, depends on what we are learning, which letter, I made him do copy a sentence that I have already in here in Spanish, and I explain to him what it is. I read it in Spanish, he reads it in Spanish, and then he copies, and it stays in his mind. Then I have here another book for Spanish. Okay, it has some stories, very pretty for them, just to get him used to the language. Here we have the days of the week. They're in Spanish in this, I will say, like a roulette. And I found this free on Google. Then I have this book that is Spanish and English, and I read it to him. Sometimes I read both languages, sometimes I just read Spanish, get him used to the sounds of the letters in Spanish. I want to get him used to listen to me in Spanish and listen to other people talking in Spanish. We have different slang. So Spanish that comes from people that lives in Mexico sounds a little bit different than the one from Puerto Ricans, because we have that slang that differentiate us from the rest of the people. We do understand each other because we speak Spanish, but we have that certain slang. Okay, depends on where you come from. And we have this Spanish book, for Spanish workbook, and I start with the words that are more commonly used. We haven't used the whole book yet. We go little by little. You have to at least give that base to your kid, to start with the vowels, start with those blending sounds and those phonetical sounds, and then from there you can start teaching them words, because if not, it is very easy for them to forget, just because they don't have nothing to relate with. Okay, and they forget those sounds if they are not constantly practicing them. Okay, something else that I noticed is, since my son has that interest for learning Spanish, I noticed that sometimes when we go, let's say to go grocery shopping, and he sees somebody that speaks Spanish, he goes and he start immediately that conversation. He don't even wait for me. Sometimes he goes and say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo estoy bien. And they keep talking in Spanish and he doesn't understand. He goes, give me just 1 second. I'm going to bring my mom. What does he say? And I try to explain to him that is a good way of motivating them too. If you don't have nobody that speaks Spanish in your home, go outside and just start a conversation. That's how he does it. That's something good that he has. He's not afraid of that, so he goes and try to get into that conversation with them just to practice. If he noticed that he is not able to practice with me at home, then he starts doing that, and I see the interest that he has on learning the language. So first of all, just to resume everything, first of all, they have to have that interest to learn the language, and second of all, you have to give them a base, you have to give them roots. Even if you can go into select one of the countries that speak Spanish and you give them some of the cultural information and how they start with these or whatever, what they celebrate, anything like that, that gets them motivated, to speak the language, to get interested in learning Spanish, that will be helpful as well. But you have to give them some base. I like to start with the vowels. I suggest you to start with the vowels just for them to learn the basics first. You can do blendings if you want, if you don't have the book, because I know it's a little bit difficult if you don't speak Spanish, probably, to make the sounds, and it doesn't come with the CD, it's just the book. You can start with the alphabet, but at least give them that beginning. Don't go straight into teaching them words that they don't relate, they don't have, like, they don't understand why, the relation of that word, just words here and there sporadically. I don't think it's a good idea, because as I said, they need that base there. Okay, so that is the method that I use. So I hope this is helpful. If it is, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I will see you. Bye bye.